right, hello, hello. Sorry about that. I went to move the microphone in the way, and I pulled the clamp right off the side of the desk, and it was like, oh god, so the whole thing was gone. So I had to reattach that back on. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started for today. Overall, 24-hour pip changes, not crazy. Dollar CAD, a little bit down right now. Again, we had nothing happen actually inside of the BOC rate statement, but the 815 non-farm or the ADP non-farm employment change was actually much lower than expected. Um, some interesting thing to take in context, and it's actually not only was it lower before, but that's kind of what it was previously as well. There was a little bit of an adjustment that needed to be done. They've been kind of forecasting it a little bit off. And remember, this is private sector jobs, so this is not the true non-farm number. Um, and what does it really tell us? Like we know that there's less job openings, but there's also less people being hired. Um, right now we have the dollar. Again, the dollar is fluctuating back. We talked yesterday about it hitting 104, and it did. It hit 104, and now what is it doing? It's starting its kind of chop back and forth in here, right? Right around 104, because again, big round number. We know that. It went down a little bit. And you can seeing it rally up right now. You can see, when the news came out, 815 here, it did push down and then pushed up and kind of hit that 104 again. It came down and it's finding some buyers down here, and again, it's stabilizing. But here's the thing, right? So just to keep this in context, remember, this is just the ADP number. We've had some really crazy ADP numbers, and then the actual non-farm on Friday was not quite as spectacular, for lack of a better word. Just understand, taking this full into context, here's again, government website, right? The Bureau of Statistics, the number of unemployed persons per job opening seasonally adjusted. If I bring this down, you can see right here, this is where the one is, right? Has there really been much change? Not really, right? Going into the table here, check this out. So we can say, oh, it's slowing. We're going to a recession. It's been the same thing, this point 0.7 since July, right? We didn't really hear much about, too much slowdown. And then back to May, June, right? And again, we've had a point 0.5 in here, but it's mostly point 0.6. And you can say, is it a little bit higher? Sure, right? But everybody's talking about it's slowing down now, right? It's been the same since July. It actually hasn't changed, right? The number of people that are unemployed versus the number of job openings out there. There's still a lot more job openings than people. But we heard about this, that there's a slowdown. And is it the employers that are not hiring people? Or is it people not accepting jobs? So the question is the Fed's policies actually working or not? But just to keep it in context, because you see these numbers, you're like, holy crap, it's horrible. And that's all people are going to talk about today. But here's the actual data from, the Bureau of Statistics, right? It's point 0.7. It's the same as it was in September, the same that it was in August, the same that it was in July, and it only slightly ticked up in June. So, yeah. Is there really much difference? Not really, right? Not really. We still got, 8 point, 8.5, 8.7, right? 8.73. So there's still a lot of job openings for people out there. So, um, to say that it's slowing, again, yesterday, more articles back and forth. Somebody was like, I don't know what these brokers are, I forget who it was, but I read it and they're like, yeah, I don't know what these brokerage people are talking about that like 5 times, like how much time, like how fast do they think they're going to start cutting interest rates? Because I guess the consensus, the market is now factored in a 68% chance that we will drop 100 basis points next year, right? That's 25% or 25, 25 drops, right? Um, they're probably not even going to start. Maybe we see like one, maybe one, two, depending on. He's like something would have to go really, really wrong to get that much, because maybe the end of second quarter, start of third quarter, maybe we see one kind of tear back and then kind of see, because again, you don't want to start dropping and then inflation go higher, right? So yeah, no, no, no. Let's grab Cat 5 cables and turn them into whips and whip the computer. Gotta love little kids. Um, no, go watch your play. Go watch your play. So the reality of this is, yeah, it looks like a horrible number, but we're not really saying too much. And again, the interest rate thing, I think, is going to be more of a dominant of when it's going to happen. Rest of today, we're done. We got nothing else really for today. Tomorrow, we really don't have much. We have the unemployment claims number. The big question is, will this unemployment claim, remember, if we're hurting the economy, if we're going into recession, this unemployment claims number should really start surging. Is 221 a surge? Not really, right? Same as kind of this November number, kind of the same as the 16 here, same as a little higher than this, but about the same here. I mean, is 221 anything crazy? Not really. I mean, look, September of last year, there was more than that, right? And it turned out to be better. So I don't think that the world is ending, right? It's the whole Chicken Little thing, and then obviously Friday. No, but I'm busy right now. Go ahead. What you want? Where's your play? Give me your play. No, what? What? No, mommy's on the phone. No, mama's on the phone right now. Come here. Mama's on the phone. It's gonna be one of those mornings. No, come here. Come here. I got something for you. Come here. Yeah, mama. Yes, mama. You got a mama's. Come here. Stay with daddy. Come here. Oh, where's your play? Here, can you get your play? Oh, here, go get your play. Go get your play. You sit on daddy's lap. Here we go. All right. So again, obviously we know Friday's going to be the big game. Everything we see today could be kind of washed around. So let's start off with the VIX. VIX, it's down, right? It's down. I mean, that's great. Isn't this awesome? Less people are getting hired. This is awesome, right? Is it? I mean, again, it kind of goes back to really, we had really, really horrible data, right? Um, VIX is going down because of that, right? The dollar, again, minus, there you go, 0.00. Is the dollar collapsing? Not really. Indices all in the green. I mean, hey, this is the best thing ever. Less people are getting jobs. Now, the one good thing we did get out of this is we know that the average hourly earnings, whoops, right? We did hear, where is it? Where is it? Right here, right? We did hear this one, right? As of November, annual pay is up 5.6% year over year. What's the inflation rate right now? We know that it's about 3.7. So people are making more money. Typically, when people make more money, you're outpacing inflation. Yeah, part of it's catching up. I got it. But at the same time, if you were, if annual pay increases are going up 5.6% and the annual inflation this year is only going to be, let's say it does nothing. Let's say it holds where it is and it's a 3.5, 3.7 where we're at right now. Um, you're making more money than you're outpacing inflation this one. People will spend more, right? It's kind of a pro inflationary environment. So it's there. Um, is what it is. Indices all in the green. Commodities. Oil down. Look at this. 70.91. Could we potentially be seeing a drop below the $70 mark? OPEC not going to be happy about that, right? OPEC Plus will not be happy about that, right? So we'll see where we go with this one. Again, it's interesting that it's down. Again, less people are getting hired back. It's a hit on demand, right? So again, is it wrong to be red right now? No, I don't think so. Not whatsoever. If that number is true, and really if people are getting hired back, less people are getting hired, absolutely, right? Absolutely. Where we at? Right here. Natural gas. It's flat. It basically hasn't moved. It's still sitting at that 270 mark. I think we were talking yesterday about forget where it was, 286, something like that. We were talking about just a punch, just a little bit higher. It is what it is. Gold up a little bit again with dollar weakness right now. Again, gold's it's above that 225 mark. I think that's really where it should be right now. It's at 229 again. It's up $10 right now because people are like, oh yeah. And you may say, why the heck is gold surging? Well, because if people truly believe that that's it, the Fed's going to start cutting because they're trying to avoid this. That's pro inflation. That's why you're seeing gold up $10. Now, is silver going crazy? No, silver's down a little bit. Silver is actually closer to the 24 number versus, we've talked about 25 and 24.50. Silver's pulling back, right? Silver is just slightly in the red, right? It should be up 1% right now, right? Because it's supposed to be double what gold is. And maybe this is where the reversal comes in. But hey, all the news is out, right? So yeah, yeah. Not the moves that you would be thinking of. And again, gold's trying to go up 11, right? Back up to 230. Now, look at the currencies in there. Is there a gigantic move here? Is there something big? Nope, not really. This trade got taken out yesterday morning at 11:45. You hit your full profit target, right? So that is out. And again, not necessarily the best of levels in there. Now we came up and we did kind of put some weird trades in here, right? Nice red, nice green, nice red, but not above, so not there. Then all of a sudden you got this red, green, red, and that's kind of where we're at right now. There's nothing over there, so these are kind of newly established levels. This was at midnight, so not really your best area. That's kind of your start right here of this kind of red, green, red kind of top, and we've just kind of hit that, and really we've kind of hit it. We base down, we hit it again, and we've hit it and pulled down. And I'm pretty sure this is why. Let me put this on the 15th, sorry, or on the 30th. I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing this hit here. Should be calling for a dollar strength based move, and what are you seeing? You're actually starting to see a roll out of this. So again, why? Is the news earth shattering, or are the sellers here really controlling this one? I would say right now it looks like the sellers are controlling this one. So right now, this is not a bad short. does have to break through this level, which hmm, 13 zone sitting there. I mean, it's a little bit late to get into it now. That's kind of what the trade looks like. 1 to 3. It's a little deep. A little deep, right? But it's small. You're talking about 8.5, 9 pips worth of risk on that one. And again, you may look at this like, wait, but the dollar is horrible. Yeah, but you know what? But the technicals here are telling me that it's more of a short than anything else. So, we'll see. You're almost at a 1 to 1 on there, right? 1 to 1 is sitting right there. So, just sitting right there, right? That was weird. Never done that before. Did you see that? 9. If I click it, I can move around. Huh. Does that stay until I? Oh yeah, until I click somewhere else. Okay. So yeah, it's about 1 to 1. But not a bad short. Again, kind of a news based trade, right? Funny, rallied straight up in it, and then we had horrible dollar news, and yet the dollar seeing some strength rolling again. Overall, again, a lot of chop back in here. I think 66.17 and 65.26 are the decent top and bottom areas in this one. So I think we wait till we kind of push. Ideally, not a lot of news today, so we should just see kind of a continuation of what's going on. So yeah. Also, again, also not a lot of movement. So yesterday, here's where the news came out last night. You can see it kind of pulled down and then started to kind of stabilize, sitting on top of a level. It turned out to be a decent kind of long trade. It ended up kind of punching higher and came back and kind of did the same pattern. You can see if I just extend this across, magically, look at that. It's stuck inside of that area. That old area of sellers here became kind of the opposite end. Um, Now, trajectory wise, did we hit anything? Nah, no fibs in here. Again, it didn't hit the 23. The news was actually, it did hit and then kind of pull back and then punch through a second time. But you can see absolutely an area of interest level. Um, I would say there's a case made for kind of this as being a Harry Potter trade over here. Again, we'll leave this here, but if you look at this, you say, okay, well, there's the base before the zone. Did we get a break of it? Yeah, and it kind of looks like something along those lines. And it also looks very, very similar to what we have inside of the dollar, or the Aussie dollar. Again, is it a racetrack? Sure. Did it come down in base in there? Yeah, but there was a base right above, and when it pulls up, is typically where we want to grab. So they're both kind of similar trades, with Australian weakness coming in. So very similar. About the same risk on both of them too. So what are you doing? Why are you smashing your head into that? Euro dollar. So your dollar, we talked about this push down yesterday. We ended up kind of just continuing 10:30. You can see we came back up, and we did get the push, right? It came down, came back up, came down, came back up, and then just continued to roll through. So um, kind of worked out how we assumed it would. Again, not really surprised. This is where we're sitting right now. Let's take this alert off. Get that alert triggered yesterday. I don't know if we found anything lower. No, we didn't. This is what we're dealing with right now. So you can see this is kind of the free fall we're in right now, right? So let's see. Can we draw anything more near term? Got about 67 more pips to go till we get down there. Hmm. Don't I like the fact that this candle kind of came up, grabbed it, and then took off. But again, not fresh. Been here, boom, touched, boom, took off. It is, again, it had not been a 23, and now that once we started to push down here, you can see it's in that wheelhouse where we're kind of sitting right around the 23. Maybe we look for something potentially in this area, the 108.35. But right now, since since what, 12 o'clock yesterday, we're in the same spot. How much movement is it? 12. Yeah, so half a pip. Oops. Half a pip is what we're playing with there. So it'll depend what happens here. There are buyers in here. If we can pull back up and reestablish it. Problem is, we're just the magnetism of 104 right now is really playing with this one. We'll see if continued weakness comes in though. Honestly, if you look over here, not really super concerned. I think really I'm not interested in pulling the trigger on any sales until we get up to 108.35. As far as the opposite side, again, we went lower, we went lower, we went lower. We know we're sitting inside of a racetrack right now. I don't think I have an icon for that. Yeah, there's no icon for that one. There's no car, right? There's an airplane, but there's no car. There's a car, there's a house, there's a key, there's a drop of water, a present, there's a rocket ship. Right? I guess there's a rocket ship, a magnet. Oh, well, here we go. So I got a magnet, so I can go back to the 104 and use the magnet. But yeah, besides that, I guess I got nothing. Is there an emoji for a car? No, probably. I'm assuming there's people in wheelchairs. Is there cars? I feel like there's probably cars. There's on bikes. Racetrack doesn't quite give. Here's boats, swimmers, skiers. I guess a skier would work there. Hold on. There we go. There's a race car. Not really a race track, but a race car. Train. Yeah. Anyway, we know we got a clear run all the way down here. So, we got some space to go. Let's change that to yellow right there. So, decent push, right? It's less than a day's worth of movement down. It's really sideways at this point. And again, having it start to tear back down again, you can see this is getting less and less, right? Getting less and less. So, um, again, I think this one's sideways. Not much here. Euro pound. Again, we got a little bit of reversal back. In, break, in again and again, and then we punched higher. I don't think this one's really changing. But let's pull this one off. At this point, we don't need this one anymore. So much push in there. We have European data tomorrow. I just moving you. Yeah, you're sitting in a weird spot. You're not a little boy anymore. Revised GDP. Maybe a headline from here. Remember, because this is more like US focus, right? Some of these things like German industrial production on a monthly basis. Is that an important number? Yeah, for the European Union it is. It expected to be positive. That comes in, say, minus 0.01. Is it that much? No. It's showing that, again, it's weakening, right? Again, that's not good for the European Union. That absolutely could give, and it's expected to be a positive number. So, um, problem is Friday this will eat up all the Friday, but because there's not a whole lot of U.S. data, unemployment claims not super big, but something like German industrial production. Um, 37. That's one whole day's worth of movement. I don't know that we can get all the way back up there. Um, as far as a proxy goes, again, we are on the bottom side of the curve on this one. We would be saying more bullish euro. With the European data coming out, again, there's a lot of things about how we're not raising anymore. There's a slowdown. Something like German industrial production tomorrow, again, expected to be good. But typically, when you have that expectation, if it does come in as expected, it's already factored in the market. But the chances are that it could be not as good as what is expected. Again, that technically, just stop. I'm just grabbing your foot. It's not ow, ow, ow. Again, I'm more looking for a short, but right now, again, there's no great levels in here. We've pushed lower, so we should be able to punch through this next level. This next level comes in here, and again, not really a smooth entry exit, nothing. There's just not enough movement in this one. It's just so sideways. And again, since last Friday, we've been in the same 15 pip zone. So just again, yeah, it's low in the curve. That tends to be more European bullish, but again, I'm not just super bullish based off the data and kind of the expectations on that one. Euro yen, you can see we had a rally up here. 3 o'clock in the morning. It did push back up right here, and we kind of missed it. It didn't. And again, if we would have put it down to here, you can see we didn't get the 23. Now there's a push down. You can see the 23 went a little bit lower. That was this morning at 3 o'clock. Big reversal this morning. and then obviously 530 reversal right back down to the origin of the move. So, but we're sitting right there. We had a dotted line here. We're talking about this level right here, this being something, right? And that's exactly what you can see we ran into, right? We came down yesterday, we hit it, we came back up. We based in it, based in it, based in it, popped up, came back down, based in it, went a little bit lower, and based in it again. So we're still sitting right in that same spot. As far as where we go with this one, obviously it has pushed a little bit lower. I think at this point we're still looking for 158. We're 90 pips above, but we get any of that European weakness tomorrow. There are sellers here. Do I love any of these sellers? Not really. I mean, yeah, here, this is hit number 3 on this little kind of pop. So not the best. I do like that one, and I think again, I'd like to find a way to get in right now. Obviously, I mean, we can drop it down with 15 if you're really looking for something. Saying, hey, listen, I know there's a big area here, right? I know there's a big area of sellers in here. We've hit it, we've hit it, we've hit it. We're just looking for some type of confirmation. And here, never really got that confirmation, right? Never really got this confirmation. The green came above. We had a red green, and this red didn't close below, right? Or it's basically dead on. And then all of a sudden, what happened is this green went above. So we haven't gotten the confirmation of a short. You could drop it something with 15 and we get a red, a green, a red confirmation, then look for it to push. Where we are currently right now, there's about 86 pips. So there could be potentially a 30 to 50 pip runner in that one short. But right now, again, feelings, and we're obviously in an area of sellers, but they're not fresh sellers. It's not the first time that they've been here. Typically, you don't want to find something that, again, slow push, slow, a little bit of a hiccup and right back up again. So getting a little long in the tooth there, right? Getting a little long in the tooth. Pound dollar. That's what we had drawn yesterday. I missed it by a little bit. So I guess I moved it over so we could kind of see it. So, this would have been more. We are looking for the base, so I wasn't far off. That's where I put it. We're kind of doing that now, right? We're kind of doing that now. Again, straight. We didn't really get a base in here. Not the base we really wanted, right? This is too big of a base, right? That's too big of a base. If anything, I would say that there was a little bit of a base here, and we just kind of hit that one for news. And again, there's your base. Here, I'll put it just in the middle. There's your base. There's your pushback. Again, I wasn't dead on. So again, that's the pattern that we talked about. You could have been entered right now. We'll see what we got here. The end total was about 11 pips. Not bad. Actually, a little bit less than 11. 10 and a half. And 1 to 3 is sitting about there. So there's some sellers there. This may have been one of those ones. It's like, oh, wait a second. We got confirmed sellers right there. Maybe I'm not taking it, and maybe you didn't. Right? Maybe you didn't. But yeah. So that's the pattern that we talked about yesterday. I missed it by a little bit. Instead of here, I should put it up here, and I said I don't know where it's going to kick in. So, and the pullback was a little bit deeper. It needed these guys. So I was a little bit off of my drawing, but not too bad. Right? Not too bad. So yeah, you could be in this trade. Look for this to come down. It looks like the profit target right now is 125.71. So pound yen, obviously sideways movement. What do we got here? 21 pips in 24 hours. So not even a pip an hour. And in looking at this one, yesterday, European session opened, came up 530 reversal. Down here, we ended up not really. We kind of stabilized at 10:30. We didn't really reverse off of it. It took till about 4:30, then we reversed back up, and then came down and grabbed them again. Came back up and pushed them again. So it's hitting this bottom level a bunch of times. We hit it here again. Again, when there's one touch here, one touch here, one touch here. Typically, we're not looking to go long on those type scenarios. So, kind of take it for what it's worth. Right. Again, do I love using this zone again because it was an original touch of this level here? Not really, but again, if we wanted to get a little bit more aggressive with this one, we have this coming in right there, 186, right? Originally, again, remember it was this, right? That's where the actual move went. It's a level on top of a level, so you want to be a little more conservative. It looks like 86.10 is actually where that other level kicked in, but we had this drop here, a lot of basing, and then a confirmation. So you got to kind of front run that one a little bit. So right now, I still like this one kind of negative. I know European, we're talking about that one being positive. Again, low in the curve, we are a little bit more biased. Um, But eh, yeah, I mean, if we can get up to 186, like that one short. Again, if the euro pound currency pair goes up because we're low in the curve, again, that's pound weakness. That's exactly what we would see here. Is this continue to push lower? I still think we need a base in here. We got some room to run, and again, this may be more of a non-farm type thing. 70 pips down. It's got a 127 ATR. It's actually shrinking a little bit because we've been kind of in this range back and forth. But we obviously have sellers up top. But again, one, two, three. This will be hit number four. Bottom side, one, two, three. This is hit number four. So neither of them should really hold. We got to kind of see if this one is going to go up or if it's going to reverse and go down. Um, those are kind of, I think those are the two levels we're really looking for. And we know if we start the base in here, we're looking for a break below 184.53. But right now, with it sideways, less than a pip an hour, right? So again, biggest mover on the board and highest ATR and nothing. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, we were talking about a potential pop. We ended up kind of stabilizing. We were looking for it, and we said maybe we can push down there. Obviously, not much movement in there, and we're kind of stabilized. This one's down a little bit. Again, if I continue this across, we drew this the other day, yesterday, and yesterday afternoon we came up and tested again. 3, 4 o'clock, we were sitting there. This morning at 5:30, again, nice little surge up from the European Open. This red candle right here in the middle. This one, no, that red candle right there in the middle was 3 o'clock. There was buyers there, right? There were buyers there. It rallied up 5:30 reversal, pushed it right back down, went a little bit deeper. So where we are with this one. Again, are we seeing a little bit of a? Is it really CAD strength? No, it's probably a combination of both. The CAD did get a little bit of a push. Again, you're seeing actually from the 8:30 time frame, we actually got the opposite. We got CAD weakness, right? And now it's resuming a little bit, probably because people are seeing that number and be like, "Oh my God, the dollar, people are not getting hired. That's it. Recession. This is horrible." Even though the indices are all sitting there, kind of in the green, right? It's awesome. People are not getting hired. Indices higher, baby. You're like, what? How does that happen? Yeah, it just shows you how linked the forecasters for interest rates are. What? What are you doing? What? Are you tired? Are you a tired boy? Um, so yeah, overall, let's just deteriorate it a little bit down. The one nice thing about the API number being weird, I'm sorry, the ADP number being weird, is that people are now going to expect the NFP number to be horrible, right? And guess what? What if it's not bad? What if it comes in as expected, right? What if it's not horrible? What if it's not a huge miss to the downside? That's some good dollar strength. So would set up a nice little trade. Do I think really much has changed? Nah. Are there levels in here that are gonna have to get chopped through? Probably. This didn't hit the 78, but we'll remove it because we have a level that's in close proximity. Let's reverse it and see in the other direction what we got. You can see when it came up, the 23 did okay yesterday. Today it got blown up. The next thing we got is all the way down here. And again, is this a great level here? Not really. Look at this. Chop down, chop down, chop down, chop down. The 61.8 is a better level. I think there's a potential down there for a reversal. There is one here, but again, I use a lot of caution with that. Not really a great zone with all the chopping back and forth. I mean, there was a little bit of a hiccup there, but I think the level down here at the 61.8 is better. I think this 135.22, 25, somewhere around there. Um, better spot. Better spot for a reversal. So let this one come down. It's not a bad run, right? That's only about 36 pips. That's half of a day's worth of movement. So that's not that far. It looks like a lot on this chart because it's sized correctly, so we can see it. It's got a 4-hour ATR of 28. So good. Could by the end of the day, could we be down there? Yeah. And could that be a reversal point? Absolutely. Right. So again, 135 will start kind of, we will start getting a little bit of magnetism in there, but I think that's a decent spot. I mean, we had a big push up, big push down, and then again, that was kind of the last takeoff point. So it's not a horrible spot, it's not horrible. Okay, you're gonna stab me with this toenail again. So yeah, and again, if we're gonna get a reversal, I think the 50s. It could happen again. It could happen there. I like this one better. I like the 135.22. I think that's a much better level. The 61.8 tends to be stronger than the 50, but we all know 50 absolutely has its day as well. All right, dollar Swiss doing nothing. Still sitting there. I don't know what's a dollar Swiss. 3 pips in 24 hours. Yeah, baby. The dollar Swiss is in euro pound territory. Um, Again, there's 3 o'clock. I guess there's your 8:15 push. Right here was your 8:15 push. It immediately went in the buyers, and now it's pushing right back. Just no sideways movement. We know we got a level there. I think we talked about this level yesterday. We were sitting right here at 10:30 yesterday, and I guess it did roll. We were like, yeah, if you have to. I mean, it moved 27 pips to its peak, but is it a great trade? Is it a great level to take it off of? No, not really. Um, and the worst part about it was, here's the red, here's the green, here's the red. It closed above, and then the next green kicked in. So it's like, yeah, no confirmation there. There's a red, there's a green, there's a red, no confirmation, right? Um, there's a red, there's a green above nothing. There's a red, there's a green. Where maybe we're starting to get a signal right now, but it's going to take at least another half hour. So we got nothing yet. Got nothing yet. Um, got nothing yet. Um, yeah, it's there. Here yen. Yeah, for dollar Swiss, again, just so much sideways movement. It would be nice. There's a lot of, again, there's a level sitting here, right? Then there's another level sitting here. We're hitting that now. We need to chop through. I think really until we get down to kind of this 50% point here, right between these two levels. I think again, I just don't see the Swiss being a powerhouse. We're going to need something really, really bad. And look at this, the now dollar surging back up again. So yeah, just dollar Swiss is just, again, it does make some really, really beautiful trades, but those beautiful trades don't happen every single day. So dollar yen. What do we got? Dollar yen movement, 49 pips. Not horrible. Not, whoops. I don't know. Maybe you know what? It's because this one. It's always the second to last one, and because I brought that thing up. I'll probably do it right now. Let's see. Yesterday we were down here. That's why we're up 50 pips. Pretty soon it's going to come up, and it's going to. There's your 10:30. It's going to deteriorate to 20 pips really, really quickly here. I think we drew this yesterday. I think we just drew this last surge. And you can say 50%, but there's one, there's two, there's three. Am I interested in this one? Not really. And it didn't even drive as far. So I would assume it starts to go higher. The problem that I have with this one is this candle right here. I think I talked about this yesterday. This candle here, again, I like the fact that it's a drop base and then a nice push to the downside. But this wick going all the way up here really kind of jacks it up. You can see on the 15-minute. It still jacks it up. It's still on a 15-minute. It's still about that big. You're talking about 35 pips on a 15-minute. No, 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 no. It's got a 4-hour ATR of 47. So it's, what, 75, 80% of a 4-hour ATR on a 15-minute chart. No, it's just not for me, right? Not for me. It's hit there, right? Right. It's hit this here, 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 here. And again, so far been great, but has it been, this was a decent push. It's confirmation. Not really. It didn't even make it back down. This one hit again, went a little bit deeper. This one hit again. This would have been hit number 4. You're like, oh, that's sketchy. And guess what? Didn't even go back there again, and now it's rallying again. So not a lot there, but overall, I think this one has the ability to go a little bit higher. Sellers will step in somewhere in there. I don't think this is the best long trade right now, but I think 147.63 is probably in the area. If we can get up to there, look for the sellers that cause this big whip in there to probably come back in. What are you, a dinosaur now? Are you a dinosaur now? Ah, are you a dinosaur or a shark? Does a shark make noise? Um, so yeah, probably a little bit more of a runner on this one, but I think it's going to be more sideways movement. So nothing substantial in that. Crude. Again, right now we'll see if we're stabilizing. It's 10:30 right now. We've had a big push down. This push, and you may say, "What the heck happened here?" What happened here is the employment number, right? And we said it yesterday. If ADP is bad, that's less people work and that's less demand. We should see price dropping, and that's exactly what's happening. How much? What did it do? About a buck, right? It's about a buck move. Yeah, about 120, right? Yeah, about a buck 20 down. Eh, big question is what's going to happen now as we're getting close to that $70 range. Got about 50 cents to go. People are seeing that 70 and everybody's looking at that 70. My question with the $70 mark here, and again, yes, if you're going to take this on pure fundamentals, less people hired, less demand on oil, it should be going down. Now, we do have, let's see. Here's our oil, our API inventory report. Little tiny bit of a surplus. Little bit. Like, do we care about half a mil? No, that's nothing. Right? That's nothing. But that's what the forecast is right now. It's expected to be negative. Let's see. What is today? Give me yellow. See, they're only saying it's a minus 1.3, right? They're claiming inventory is a minus 1.3 versus the API before it was saying it was a minus 2.3 or 2.2, 2.3 if you want to round it up. And it came in a little bit positive, right? If it follows suit, again, if it's close, that may give us a little bit more supply. So again, that's probably what we're holding on to here for the 70 mark. Big question is, and again, I love how people will tell you that you know this. I love when they do that too. They're like, oh, I knew. Look at that. I had that volume weighted. I knew. No, you don't. You have no idea. Um, Companies are not that stupid. Are there any big orders sitting at 70? Is 70 a big enough of an area where you have like a Southwest or someone that's responsible for hedging if they have something big sitting around 70? And is that why we're starting to slow down? Because again, as soon as we can say we're breaking back into the 60s, I mean, again, look at the Russian oil thing. You can't pay any more. What is it? I think it's $66 a barrel. Guess what? It don't matter if you only get $66 a barrel, right? Because it looks like this one's getting close, right? So are you really hurting them off of what the world market is? No. And what's the pain point going to be at $70 for OPEC, right? Is OPEC going to be like, yo, within the 52-week range was $95 and we're in the 60s again? That's not price stabilization, right? Um, and again, remember, supposedly we are so restrictive right now with policy, we're going to send the U.S. into a recession. It's so horrible. It's bad, right? And again, another reason why that this is dropping down again. So, is there something in here yet? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. It's really having some problems. And again, the problem with this one, and again, for news trading, we got 17 minutes before this one kicks in. Again, it's a news trade today. It's inventory report day, right? Again, we can 35 and 1 strategy. The problem with the 35 and 1 strategy right now is this: we are so close to that 70 mark. The question is, and again, remember, banks and institutions are not going to put their order right at the 70 mark, right? The 70 may be a trigger, but then they will put a buffer and a range on there. They can't have it be one thing because then everybody can see that, right, in the system. So what happens is they have computers that will slide the orders in on both sides to play games with it. That's why, like, when you see like the weighted, people are like, oh, but the volume weighted. It's like, no, that doesn't stop. Put it this way, like, you have the Wall Street tool after everybody else does. If that's what you're using now, that's the hot button for right now. Sure, yeah, keep believing that. I love that conversation. People are like, oh, but the volume weighted average. I can see where everything is. Really? Do you think that the smarter people in the world that have like amazing supercomputers and AI that they had 20 years ago, do you think that that AI knows that you can see that? Do you think they've crafted methods to help you understand that? But then when you see something like this, you're like, oh, I know there's orders there. Yeah, of course you do. It's 70. They're going to tier orders in on both sides, right? And you're going to see people using 70 as a pivot, right? So the reason why it's like that is because they don't have one thing. It's going to tier in. The question is, when is that trigger going to tier this triangle? Is it going to come in here? Is it going to come in here? Is it going to come in here? It's going to be close. And that's why we see the chop back and forth, because again, it's a game, right? They have to manipulate you. How do I know? Because again, a friend of mine is a market maker. He goes, that's exactly what I used to do. Right? It's exactly what I used to do. He goes, I could trick a computer to buy it the way, at prices that I want. Right? And this is a dude. This is a guy. He's like, I could trick it. I know exactly how to do it. Right? He's like, it was easy. Right? He's like, when you understand how the algorithms work, he's like, most people have no idea how they work. He's like, but you can trick it. And I watched him do it in after hours trading. And I was like, holy crap. He goes, watch, I'm going to do this. And this is what the price is going to do. And it literally did exactly what he said. I was like, okay, you know how to work that system. Yeah, I was so impressed. And that was after hours trading too, which is even crazier because it's all algo traders at that point. So, but anyway, Yeah, it's gonna come in somewhere. So that's the only thing that has me leery down here. Again, at 70, there will be buyers there because people don't want to breach through. But at the same time, once it breaks below, once it hits that 69.99, people are gonna be talking about, hey, we broke 70, time to start shorting the sucker. Right? Question is how much movement is in. And again, remember, the drop today, right? The drop today was because, oh my God, less people are getting hired. Oh, it's so bad. Guess what? What happens if we have a big hiring? This is the private sector. What if the public sector did a lot of hiring and we don't know about it yet, right? Right? Because remember, what? What do you want? Please what? What do you want? You hungry? You want to eat? He's at the stage where we're like he's trying to combine like two, three words together, but he has to think about it first. So, but anyway, I think there's probably a decent spot to do some buying down here. And again, whether it be U.S. based oil news, is it an OPEC type news? There's quite a big drop here, right? Quite a big drop, right? So we'll see as we come in. We'll come back to this one in a couple minutes and see if there's any stabilization in there. But again, the pop may be a little bit artificial. You know, natural gas, natural gas holding. I don't know if you guys saw it or not on Discord. I just saw today. I don't know how I got on. Like again, my YouTube is like the strangest thing in the world because I'll use my phone for Kip, so it like watches my stuff and then it combines it with Kip stuff, and then like occasionally it's like, oh, well, like, we wanted to mix it up. So I get like this weather broadcast, and they say that they're like, oh, it's very rare that they can ever predict a December storm like this early in the year because the weather patterns haven't fully formed. They're like, but there's a system coming in that's going to bring areas of Texas, Oklahoma, and everything like that snow, and it's going to be substantial. So it looks like Ernest could potentially have a white Christmas this year. Um, Although I think it's hitting next week, so I doubt it's Texas. It'll be like snow in Dallas, and then 2 weeks later it'll be 70 again. But anyway, I just had to laugh. So natural gas, I'm actually surprised with that forecast being so certain that this doesn't move a little bit higher. And again, that may be why it kind of went up from yesterday, Monday. Because of yesterday, we were sitting back up here, we kind of filled that gap, and then came back down again, and now we're kind of stuck. So the biggest area we're looking for is again, we have this little confirmation coming down here, and that's where we're sitting Monday at 9:30, and we kind of bounced off of it. Kind of got front run a little bit yesterday, but 266, right? 266 is an area. Again, this gap got filled from Friday. Yeah, Friday to Sunday. And that's all that was the gap fill, right? There's your red candle. There's your base at the end of the day, or the end of the, obviously, the end of the trading day. That's what we ran into. So we're sitting at the kind of the no man's land point. I would say, if anything, look, natural gas prices edge up on cooler forecasts from 1 hour ago. And when that came out 1 hour ago, and what has it done since that time? Pulled straight down. So I love their articles. Um, yeah, yeah. I think it probably continues to go down. I don't know what it's 42 outside now here, but I don't know. We need more than just a forecast in Texas. We need more than that. Gold. Again, what is gold doing? I think we talked about this one yesterday. You can see 215. That's where we hit. That 1030 was the bottom, but man, did it ride that 1030. Look at this. It didn't leave until late last night. It hit that and was like, nope, we're fighting it. And then came back up, grabbed that level at the 2031. Looks like 2035 is what it got to, right? And then pushed down, rode the top, came back up, and now it's stuck. You're like, why isn't gold doing this? I mean, oh my God, what's going on, right? Holy crap, right? I mean, gold's not doing anything in either direction. It is stuck. People are like, I don't know what to do with this. Is it good? Is it bad? People are getting paid more, right? Are we gonna go into a recession? Is inflation gonna go backwards? Is the Fed gonna be? Are they gonna be cutting 27 times next year? What's happening, right? And I joke, it's not 27. I think right now it's just the shock jocks. We're gonna do 7 times. We're gonna do 5 times. Even 425s, I think is a lot. I just don't think there's that much time. I think that would be a very, very big drop. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just think that's too much. I don't think we're that restrictive right now. So yeah. Anyway, gold basically sideways. And what's silver doing? Should silver be rocking it? No, silver doing the same thing. So we did talk about a break below 2414. Now we did have kind of like a little bit of a Harry Potter here. We didn't really get a decent. It was an okay base. It was like a one candle. I'm like, I kind of like this base in here more, right? Like this was like a one pause, right? This is not an entry, right? It came down, came right back up, and you're like, up, that's not a pause at all. And then there's the drop. It's like, but is that a base? You know, not really. This is more the base that we're looking for. And once this base, it's like, okay, there's our base. Give us the pullback now. Now give us the V shape, right? Because we always talk about this, and then we go south, right? So it's like, is this our base? nah, it wasn't really a base there. That's your base. So it's like, okay. But then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh, there became our new base. What happens? We talk about if there's a base above the level, that's where we intend to take it. And that's what we had this morning, was right there. Okay. And that's kind of what we're sitting in right now. It was more of that. Okay. Now we had this yesterday. We had obviously the lurk got triggered on this one. We can adjust this forward. We can just bring it up here to make it more kind of near term. Be there. And 1 to 3 is sitting right. There's 1 3.2. Okay. So along those lines, right now, we can take that out right now, and we'll just leave that. And again, we have a smooth pass all the way down. There'll be a little bit of profit taking. And again, why did that turn? Right? Why is that turn at 11:30? Why was that the bottom? Because it was a 24. Right? It was a 24. But technically, right, is today a sane day? Gold's up 0.45%. That means silver should be up zero point 0.9. Silver up 0.9. No, it's down 0.16. So, yeah. The question is which one's out of sync? In reality, this is a little bit lower, but not really out of the channel we were in yesterday, and again, about the same channel, right? I mean, this kind of had that, right? And that looks very similar to what we have here. Boom, 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 just on a smaller, right? Here, 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 and here, right? That's kind of what it looks like here, and that's kind of what it looks like here. So very similar, right? Very similar. Um, I'm gonna put this up here. Like, why are you forecasting 25? No, I'm not forecasting 25. But we'll see. I mean, again, gold and silver, they're not going to be affected too much by oil, right? Look, gold firms on weaker yields as focus turns to U.S. job data 4 hours ago. And what did we really see from that private and, ADP number? Nothing. I mean, again, we know that the real big non-farm payroll is the other one. And again, I think and here's why. And by the way, let me bring this up too, the private sector piece of it. Remember the military. Remember, like we were talking about months ago. It's like, oh, we're going to get paid. There's not a deal. There's a deal. We're going to lay off. Is there going to be a hiring freeze because we're getting laid off? When that hiring freeze gets lifted, so they hire. Yeah, yeah. So could there be a pop in private sector or in the that sector? Yeah, yeah. Could we see those government jobs rolling? Sure. Yeah, yeah. So, let's see what oil. Let's look at oil real quick to see if anything is happening with oil. It's really slowing down a ton. You see, and this is why it's different. Normally, we'd be like, "Oh my god, it's stabilizing." Right? It's stabilizing. Is it in a zone? Problem with the stabilizing right here. Look, it kind of came down and then kind of went back up. Came down just a little bit lower. Kind of came up not as far and then came down to the same spot and it's just barely breaking. Yeah, it's stabilizing down here. And is it a buy zone? That 70 is looming right there. The 70 is looming right there. And again, with this, everybody's expecting a build in surplus. And remember, the forecast wasn't as low, right? So yeah. Trying to see if they 6 minutes. All right. No, you cannot pull that. It's attached to my head. No, it's attached to Dada's head. Here, take this. Here, you can have this. Want this pen? Um. So yeah, 6 minutes to go on that one. We'll get that data in a second. Let's look at the indices. See if there's much. VIX. Oh, I was like, wait, why is that crazy? It's because it's on the 1 minute. Even on the 15 minute, still crazy. Dollar playing with 104. What do we got ES-wise here? I mean, again, remember, guys, indices are in the green, right? Indices are all green. Why? Because people are not getting hired back. It's important, right? Awesome economy. But yeah, ouch. There you go. Right? There's your peak. Surging. This is awesome. This is great, guys. This is awesome. And what happened if you would have bought at the open? Because again, overnight Globex, man, you were high, man. That data was awesome. 815 came in right here. We saw a surge higher. Yeah, they're not raising interest rates anymore. They got to slow down because low hiring. And what happened? Just collapsed. So yeah, and opening print possibility up here. Not unless you were going to take that short, right? Not unless you were taking that one short. And again, it drove up the 9 and 915. Both were green. The open was literally the high for the day. And now it's heading straight down. And the reality is this is the correct move. The data was not good, right? If we're going to an economy, that means we're going to have, people are not working. That means less people buying. That means earnings are lower, Um, it should be red, right? It should technically be red. Even though we're seeing, all the pre-movement, right? Oops, sorry, bud. Here, you drawing on your face? You're drawing on your face. Here, hold on. Give me this. Hold on. Hold on. Don't move. Freeze. Freeze. Oh, stop. No, you don't. It doesn't hurt. Here. Here, you can do it. So with this heading right down, again, no opening print possibility in this one. Again, you're not taking this one after a big surge up at that price at the open. That was a sucker's bet. But again, you could have taken that one short, obviously. NQ looks exactly the same. The 915 candle is the high one, and you're like, yeah. And actually, the scary part about NQ was this is what you had. So could you have traded that one short? You could have. Again, not opening print. This was from Friday of last week. But again, big surge up here from 745. 815 happened from right here. Here is your 815 candle. There's your rally up. That's what it looked like before news. And then all of a sudden the open straight down. Again, market's doing what it should. This matches what the data was. Even though people would have looked at this like we are surging. But at the same time, I mean, there's your confirmed level sitting right there. And again, I like that top. Love that top. Friday, Sunday. Look at that. That's the Sunday open right there. There's where it ended Friday. There's where the Sunday was. So it literally filled the Sunday gap, and then just exploded. Again, right call. Could you take this one short? Absolutely. Yeah. This one you could have taken short. Not really opening print. This would have just been a standard, again, Sunday gap fill. Okay, tell me that the round numbers don't matter. 830 straight up. Up and down, up and down, up and down. At 930, all the way up to here, all the way down to here, open and close exactly the same. 945, all the way down to here, opened up. Next candle, 10 o'clock, a little bit higher, all the way back down again. And then we close right up here. Again, 2 no movement candles. And then what happened here? Opened at the 36,300, all the way down, and we're sitting right here. So again, tell me that the round numbers don't matter. Unfortunately, you can't do that with YM. And again, YM is really, I mean, this is really ugly. If you look at this, hour period of time here, I mean, look at this. Wick up and down. Here's your opening. No idea what's going on. One up, one straight back down again, and no idea what's going on. And then again, pushing back down again. So, I mean, that's kind of your definition of what ugly looks like as far as candles go, right? Is there any clear thing in here? No, no, right? So, obviously, nothing in here. Russell. Russell, not as bad. Now, again, Russell is holding till 10. Look at this. 930 was here. Russell, again, Russell had some areas, not clean though. I mean, this one kind of went up at 915. 915 was right here. There's nothing in the overnight here. It did pull back, but it unfortunately didn't hit. I would say, if anything, this one did have a little bit of, there could have been a case made saying, hey, listen, this is 4:30 in the morning, right? And then we came back and we confirmed at 6:45. Like, that's what we're looking for. It's a shame that this 930 candle didn't come all the way down to here. Like, had that been into there, right? Had that been that wouldn't have been a bad trade. But it unfortunately it didn't. But that wouldn't have been bad if you ever see that. This is the right time frame for it. It didn't go to where we wanted it to. And then again, straight up. And again, this one is 10-15 starting to reverse. It is the strongest on the board though. It is up 1.27%. And again, kind of funny, right? Less people are getting hired back. And yet Russell's like, yeah. It's like, ooh, but less people hired means less spending, which means less profit potential for small businesses. Because again, remember, big businesses are insulated a lot more. That's spread over a lot more things. It's like insurance, where small businesses don't have as much control over, again, being having multiple sales avenues. So yeah. But Russell is the strongest today. I don't know why. It shouldn't necessarily be. All right, let's see what oil comes in at. We've got 36 seconds. And again, they haven't adjusted this one. It's still expected to be a down draw. And again, 1.3 is nothing. I'm not really, I'm not. Ow, ow, ow. You stop. Ow, ow, ow. You're such a baby. You're such a baby. Yeah, let's see. Have this come in. I don't know. Maybe we'll get like a nice little build on this one. Maybe we get like maybe a 2 million barrel build or something. That wouldn't be horrible. I mean, the 2 million build would be kind of consistent with what the API number was. But we'll see. 4 seconds. Don't play with my emotions. Give it to me quick. Here we go. We got the pending. Come on. You already have the data. We already know it. What do we got? It's like watching paint dry sometimes, right? Come on. It's not like you don't have it. It's not like you haven't mailed it to everybody. Oh, look at that. Uh-huh. Little miss there, right? API, the industry report was a little bit off. Uh-huh. So let's see what that did for the oil. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. We'll see if that one comes in, kicks in here. People are probably like, what? And very interesting if that's going to be where the bottom is for the day, right? Interesting. You're not seeing a funny. You're not seeing any type of movement that one yet. It was a huge miss, right? It was expected to be a little bit negative, and it was 3 times that, right? And yet you're seeing not much movement. It's probably a battle of people trying to get long. So, yeah, I won't be surprised if it does this. But funny, big miss and really no reaction whatsoever to that crude market. So, sorry, the one we drew before that we saw this one popping up. Yeah, I would expect as people talk about this, I would expect again, bigger than expected down draw by 3. That should give some pressure in there, particularly after everything else is going forward. Again, we'll see. Unfortunately, the ADP number is still weighing on a little bit, but that should be overall a fundamental reason why this one would start to kind of pull back up again. I am surprised it's not a big. I'm shocked that we got $1 worth of movement with that ADP number and almost nothing here, right? But I would expect it instead of being up. I bet wouldn't be surprised if we come back up in here. So, all right, that's it for today. Let's go ahead and do our drawing. I'll give you guys 30 seconds. We'll go to 7:30. And again, we talked about somebody's strategy yesterday. It's like, hey, if you win one, you got to come back the next day for. Again, it's hard to play that strategy if you don't make it every day. Maybe he's preparing for the snow. Maybe he saw the forecast. Was like, oh man, he does live in an area though where again you get that snow and ice. It's nasty. Every time I fly through his airport, it's literally like, oh, it's going to be delayed because of ice storms. I got delayed in his airport for a tornado touching down. Um, they literally put us in the baggage like alleyways. Like they're like, okay, everybody get underground into the baggage tunnels. Like we were literally in like the tunnels where the employees work. Yeah, they shuffled us into there because they like you can't stay upstairs. There's glass windows. With the tornado warning, it can pick up baggage and stuff like that and throw it through the windows. And I was like, what? So yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, they aren't really set up for snow. They get snow there every time. Like like ice storms. I'm like, what do you mean ice storm? It's Texas. But yeah, Dallas loves their ice storms. Um, yeah. All right. With that, let's go ahead and do this drawing. Winner of today's drawing is Neuro takes it with a 6. Yep, he bullied it. He's back to his 6s again. We'll see. Maybe Neuro has figured out the new system, right? Maybe you got the new system. Let's go ahead and give you your 25. Again, still negative on the day, but if you chain those victories together, it does help, right? That's the way it works. All right. So with that, I'm out of here. Again, nothing tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is there's a little bit of again, a little bit of data. This German industrial production, I don't think it's getting enough coloration here. I think this is setting up the euro for potentially some weakness tomorrow. But besides that, again, unemployment claims is the only thing that we have red on the board. It's not even a big one. So, right there, it's the only thing we got. Foreign currency reserves in Switzerland, not really worried about it. Unemployment claims, we'll see. Maybe unemployment goes up. Maybe it doesn't. But again, 222, it's basically where the median point is. So, it is what it is. Look at this now. We're cruising now, guys. -4, -9, -18, 31, -3. So, yeah, look, 25, 26. These were much better when we started, and they're retracing back again. They're green. So, yeah. All right. With that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. You guys have a great one. Good trading today, and I'll see you then. Thanks a lot.